For you to go out and become an investor, that means that you're going to have to take a piece of your paycheck, and instead of spending all of that money, you have to take that piece of the paycheck and you have to use this money to go out and buy assets. What are these assets? It can be things like stocks, it could be things like ETFs, it could be things like index funds, it could be things like mutual funds, it could be things like rental properties, it could be like investing in your own business. It has to be something that you're buying for the purpose of making money. But the thing that you have to understand here is that in order for you to succeed with this, you can't spend all of your money. And the problem that so many people have here, especially in this system, is they make money and then they spend all their money. And nowadays they go deeper into debt to spend even more money. And then they have nothing left to go out and invest. Because now not only are they spending all their money, but they're relying on outside money, things like credit card debt or other forms of debt to continue funding their lifestyle. So they have negative money to be able to go out and invest. But in this economic system, the only way that you can win is if you become an investor, which means that you're going to have to change the system, which means not only can you not rely on debt to keep funding your lifestyle, but you can't keep spending all of your money. Now you might say, but Jaspreet, you just showed me how much more expensive things are. How am I supposed to be able to fund my lifestyle if I can't spend all my money? Now this is where you're going to have to make some financial sacrifices. And I understand this is tough. And it's especially more tough today because everything is so much more expensive. But if you don't make this sacrifice now, it's going to become even more difficult in the future. And that's why I want you to understand that, look, this is the situation that we're in. And if you don't grab a hold of where you are today, it's only going to get worse. That's why right now you have to start changing what you do with your money, which means you're going to have to start by cutting back on your expenses. Now I want you to understand this. My goal for you is not to be a penny pincher. My goal for you is not to live small for the rest of your life, but my goal for you is to make the sacrifices during the right phase. That way you have the ability to grow the pie, you have the ability to earn more money and live the life you want without having to worry about money. But in order for you to get there to the point where you don't have to worry about money, you got to make the sacrifices first. And that means right now, you got to cut back on the spending. That means you might have to cut back on the car, you might have to cut back on the apartment, you might have to cut back on the vacation, you might have to cut back on the eating out, going out and having that fun. And now you got to keep that money in your bank account. And the reason why you want to keep that money in your bank account is so you have more money to invest. Now the next thing that a lot of people say is, but Jaspreet, don't I need a lot of money to start investing? Like how am I supposed to compete against these millionaires who have hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in the market? What do you want me to do? And the thing that I want you to understand here is you don't have to go out and invest a bulk sum of money to get started. You don't need $10,000 to get started. You don't need $1,000 to get started. You don't even need $100 to get started. But what you need is the mindset to get started. You can get started investing with as little as $100. I mean, you can honestly start with $1, but as little as $100, you can get started investing your money. But you're not going to get rich with a $100 investment. However, if you can stay consistent, maybe putting $100 a week into your investments, and you do this week after week after week, month after month after month, year after year after year, now you can start to see that you're going to start putting away more and more money towards your investments. And not just that, the goal is to be investing your money into things that are growing in value. So now, if you keep putting $100 aside into your investments, well, those $100 that you keep investing will hopefully start growing with time. And as those $100 are growing, you keep putting more bills into the stack. And then as you start to earn more money, maybe instead of putting $100 a week, you start putting $125 a week, maybe $150 a week, maybe $200 a week, maybe $1,000 a week, depending on what you're doing to earn more money. But now the game is you're working to invest your money to grow this pie, but you're also throwing more money into the pie. And as your pie is making more money, you keep throwing that money back into the pie. So it's kind of like if you've ever been to a cold state before building a snowball. See, I'm from Detroit. In Detroit, when you build a snowball, you start off very small. And then if you want to make it even bigger, you're going to start rolling it. And in the beginning, when you're rolling the snowball, it's not going to go anywhere. I mean, it's going to gain a little bit of snow because it doesn't have that much surface area to attract more snow. But if you keep doing it and you keep doing it and you keep pushing it, what you'll see is that the snowball starts to get bigger. And as the snowball starts to get bigger, it can grow even faster because it has more and more surface area. The bigger the snowball gets, the faster it can grow. It's the same thing with your money. In the beginning stages of you trying to invest your money and build your wealth, it is going to be a slow and tedious process. Because when you invest your first $100, a 3% return is $3. Doesn't really seem like that much to you. But then when you keep investing your money week after week after week after week, year after year, that's when you're going to really start to see that progress. I like to call this the decade of sacrifice. If you really want to see that big change in your finances and this decade of sacrifices, now you're going to be working to live smaller and earn more so you have more money to invest, because these investments are what's going to make you wealthy. Now, you got to understand, just because you invest your money doesn't mean you're guaranteed to make money. And at this point you might say, Jaspreet, what are you talking about now? That doesn't sound like very good news. But what you want to remember is that your goal is to be a long-term investor, not somebody who's just investing for the short term. Because the mistake that so many people make is people will get started. They'll get excited about this idea of investing $100. So they put $100 a week, every single week into the markets. And for a little while, they see the markets go up. So now they see a few $1,000s in there, $10,000 in there, $15,000 in there. And then something happens in the economy. The market crashes. And now they see their stock portfolio fall by 30%. You went from $15,000 all the way down to $10,000, and naturally your heart starts to beat a little bit faster, and now you start to panic, you don't know what to do. You're seeing your money go down, you see it going down to $9,800, and now you decide to sell. But this is what you got to remember, that wealth is built over the long term, not just over the short term, especially if you're investing in good long-term assets. And what you'll see is that over the last 100 years, we've been through a lot of crap. We've been through a lot of recessions. We've been through a lot of market crashes. But all of these things create opportunity for you to build wealth, especially if you're going out and buying during these downturns, because they give you the opportunity to buy more of these assets at a discounted price. And this is why I want you to understand, investing is a long-term game. Not only do you have to keep putting your money aside, but you want to keep investing in your education and learn how to invest, how to manage your investments, how to increase the returns. That way you have more money to invest, because that's what's going to make you wealthy over the long term. It's not spending all of your money, it's putting your money to work in your investments. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide on how to start generating passive income for free. All you got to do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.